Okay, so I'm going to be going back over figurative language. It is an important standard we have in 7th grade. So, different types of figurative language. One could be a metaphor, and then we have simile, personification, illusion, and then of course the fun one that I'm not going to write on the board because I don't want to call out my spelling, onomatopoeia. So let's talk about these 5. Metaphor compares 2 things without using like or as, where a simile does compare 2 things without like or as. So I like to remember it as the as to simile by the 2 S's that are in it, whereas a metaphor doesn't go with any of that. So if I were to say, her smile was as beautiful as the rose, or something like that. You're comparing something while using like or as. Or if I just said, he is a boulder, I'm not using like or as to compare somebody to a boulder. That is the difference between these 2. Now moving on to a fun one, that is personification. Personification is where we take something like this fork. It is a non-human object, but when we give it human abilities, we then personify it. So if I said that this fork danced its way around the noodles in my pasta, I'm personifying it, because can forks actually dance? No, they cannot. We can spin them, but when we give the illusion of it dancing, we're making it fun for our reader. Now, the last one that's up here is an illusion. An illusion, don't get it mixed up with illusion. We're not magicians, but illusion is where we compare somebody to a well-known person, place, event in history, anything like that. So if I was to say, he is as mad as the Incredible Hulk, their love is, doomed like the Titanic, or their love will be as tragic as Romeo and Juliet. When I start naming things off that are like, you click, well, I know that. I can actually see them. That is an illusion. Sometimes you may see a proper noun and it sounds like, oh, this is an event, this is a person, but you may not know it. 9 times out of 10, it is an illusion. Some of my students don't know about Pompeii, and I have to explain that one when I say, don't make me erupt like Pompeii. Don't make me destroy the situation like Pompeii. And the one that I didn't feel comfortable writing up here because I'm not looking at it is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia are our fun comic book words like bang, pow, zap. Those are words that while we do spell them out, we can hear them. And so it makes it more fun and gives, a little more interest to our reader. Now, authors will use some form of figurative language to develop their writing. They give it those fun imagery words that, get us involved with it. So we're not sitting here reading our history book all bored out of our minds. We're sitting here reading a literature work that we maybe can, relate to because we have our figurative language. We have our real scenarios. So that is just my little tidbit over figurative language.